lost 207 pounds without surgery, and how you can be successful on your own weight loss journey. So if that's what you're looking for, don't forget to click the subscribe button and ring the bell for more videos like this one to inspire you to get started. Welcome, welcome everyone. Hey Jason, come on in. Everyone say hi so that I can acknowledge you as you come in. I was seriously considering not doing the video today, but then I felt kind of inspired all of a sudden to just talk about this. And ironically, I was really wanting to talk about this subject, but wait until I got Dr. Westman's new book. So I may discuss a similar subject, but involving a little bit different take on it once I get the book, because I know it has shipped. It is on its way here. It is, so I wanted to tell you the name of the book, and now I all of a sudden spaced it. If somebody remembers the name of the book, let me know. It's something about carbs and I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to read it and I'm going to share you guys my opinion next week. Hopefully, if all goes well with my planned life. So I see a lot of you coming on in. So don't forget to minimize the chat. Give me a thumbs up for the video to help with the YouTube algorithm. Pop it back open and say hello so that I can say hi. I'm going to say hi to a few of you guys before I get going on the subject. And then we will talk about keto and is it dangerous? Gotta be afraid of this keto, right? So yeah, Viva J, Jason was the very first one here. Welcome. Sparkly Susan, what a great name. I love Sparkly. That just makes me happy. Christina Salmon is here. Welcome. Glad to see you. She says, top of the morning to you. Linda Hardman, welcome. 88 Snuggles. Angela is here. She says, I'm not sure what the flames are. Smoking hot or something? I hope so, because I feel like a half dead. I'm so tired. I got not enough sleep. I didn't even look at my Fitbit thing this morning to find out how many hours of sleep I got or what the score was because I just didn't want to know. Let's see. Oh, thank you, Susan. You're so sweet. She says, I'm gorgeous and sweet. I don't feel sweet. Sometimes I feel a little bit sassy, but not this morning. We're not sassy today, so we're good. S. Abinjan H. Welcome. I hope I got your name right. Probably slaughtered it. Janice Pate, welcome from North Carolina. Someday I'm going to go there. I really am. Okay. So Christina Salmon says, my kids are touring the White House today, so I'll be in and out. Wow. Well, that's exciting. That's really fun. You're in DC. Cool. I've been past it before once in my lifetime. Never been inside. That's cool. Let's see. Linda Hardman, did I already say hi to you? I can't remember. I think I may have. S, welcome. Letitia W, welcome. K, Sarah. Hey, I'm so glad your baby's feeling better, Sarah. That is so awesome. He's been really sick. Her little guy, her 2-year-old has been sick. She's the one who gets me off my tuchus and makes me walk. All right. Okay. So I think I've got everybody who is currently here. And I will catch more people after we are done talking. And I apologize for YouTube's format for me being so close. In order for me to be close enough to actually see the chat, it does this like sucking me in thing. I do not love it. And it makes me mad because I'm like, I want to see more of me. I don't want to see just my head. But it is what it is. I'm not going to complain too much. At least I have a very easy way to talk to you guys. And that's what matters, right? So today we're going to talk about keto. In particular, is it dangerous? Because this is the thing I think that I have gotten the most outside of the keto and weight loss community. When I'm, say, just like going on Facebook on a friend's page, or people are asking me about my weight loss, the first thing they always want to ask me or say to me is, oh, but keto's so dangerous. And so I wanted to kind of talk about why people think it's dangerous, what exactly is ketosis and what's the point of doing it, why I chose to do my weight loss that way, that kind of thing. We're just going to talk about that. And then next week, I will go into a little bit more of Dr. Westman's new book. I have the old book. So let's see. I have the one that the one that he helped write and the one that he didn't help write. So this is the one that I go by as my low carb Bible here. This is the one that was by Finney and Volek. And then this is the one that was written by Finney and Westman and also Volek. So all three of them collaborated on this new Atkins for New You. And so I'm excited to add their new book that Amy Berger and Dr. Westman wrote together, because I have a feeling that it's just gonna go right along my my trains of thought when it comes to keto and diet and all of that. I feel like it's really going to speak to me. I know that Melanie Princess Ninja in Keto has been talking about Dr. Westman's page 4. That's in his other book it's not in this book, but it's in his other book that he has written. And it simplifies keto and makes it easier to do. So if that's what you guys are looking for, you should definitely get his new book. And I am going to add that in the description below when I remember the name of it. So why it's gone on, I should have written that down instead of other notes. Anyway, okay, so first of all, what is ketosis? What's the point? Why would you even want to do it, right? Most of you guys who are here probably know, but in case you don't, ketosis is a metabolic state. And all it means is that instead of your body running on sugars or glycogen, your body then is going to be running on a different fuel called ketones. And the way your body makes ketones is by converting fats into an energy source, okay? Be it dietary fats or body fats. And that's the reason it works so great for weight loss, because we have plenty of stored fat, and sometimes it's hard for our body to like access that and use it, right? We want our body to use it. But the key with keto is it makes it easier for your body to access it and more fluid and a little bit more comfortable for you. So in order to get into ketosis, the only thing you have to do is restrict your carbohydrate intake. You don't have to worry about testing for ketones, eating copious amounts of dietary fat, any of these things, taking exogenous ketones. Please don't do that. Don't waste your money on MLM ridiculous powders and things. It's not necessary. The only thing you have to do to get into ketosis is restrict your carbohydrate intake. Now that sounds simple enough, but we all know restricting carbohydrate intake is not the easiest thing in the world. Carbohydrates are great and they're yummy, and when we stop eating them, our bodies beg us for them and says, please give me more, right? Because our bodies like to run on glycogen. Why? It's easier, right? It's easier for the body to just run off the sugar and not have to worry about converting fats into ketones and then running off that. But your body's perfectly capable of doing that. And so there's a lot of benefits to ketosis besides weight loss, but since my channel is a weight loss channel, I'm really only going to go into the things that help the most with weight loss. The nicest thing about the state of ketosis, and the reason that I like to use it for my weight loss journey, is that it's an appetite suppressant. So, there's lots of appetite suppressants on the market, right? There's always a new pill. There's always some magic thing that's going to cure us and help us to stop eating. But keto is really the only thing that is a true all the time appetite suppressant that really, really works. And I think that that's the reason that it worked so well for me. I literally felt like I was out of control, unable to control what I was eating. I just could not stop eating. I just had to keep going. And I felt like I was constantly starving. The second I got into ketosis, boom, that problem went away. And all of a sudden I was able to actually take a minute to go, okay, what do I actually want to eat? How much do I actually want to eat? How much do I need to eat? And I could think about it for a second, make a plan, track it, and feel control. And so I feel like that's the main thing that really, really helped. So if ketosis is so awesome, right? Why in the heck does everyone say it's so dangerous? Why? Well, one of the main reasons why goes back to the good old Atkins, right? So back in the day, back when I was having my babies and not really paying attention to weight loss, wishing I could lose weight, but a little bit busy nursing and changing diapers and all of that stuff. Yes, I am that old. I have 9 kids if you're new here, and I am 46. I just had my birthday last week. So yeah. Anyway, I've been around the block a few times, and I was around when Atkins got popular and it was a big, huge deal. I remember purposely not doing it because everyone was. And I always hate to be the one that's doing the thing that everyone is doing. It bugs the crud out of me to be that kind of person, the follower and the person that does everything because everybody's doing it. I hate that. And so I didn't do it back in the day. And you know what? I totally regret that. I totally regret that. Could my life have been a whole different experience if I had just tried Atkins? Maybe so. I don't know. I mean, maybe not. Maybe not. But Atkins was kind of vilified back in the day because at the time they didn't realize or didn't talk about electrolyte supplementation enough. And so a lot of people got really tired. They got really foggy headed. They passed out. They got very, very ill. And I'll tell you what, when your electrolytes are very low, you do feel like you're going to die. You do feel like you're in a state where you are in a dangerous position, right? So that is the main reason why this whole keto is dangerous thing started, was because proper supplementation of electrolytes wasn't, and still isn't in my opinion, talked about enough when people are teaching how to do keto or when you're learning anything about Atkins. And you can't even say the word Atkins without people going, oh, it's bad. Guess what, guys? Newsflash, Atkins is keto. Ah, shocking, I know, right? Everyone always says, oh, you're not doing keto, you're doing Atkins. Okay, let us remind you, keto is not a type of diet. Ketosis is a metabolic state. The only thing that you need in order to enter ketosis is carbohydrate restriction. It doesn't matter what your protein and fats and all your other stuff does not matter. The only thing that matters and that affects ketosis is carbohydrate restriction. So Atkins is also keto, just like keto is keto. It's not the same kind of thing that's popular right now, but like, why do we care about what's popular? Let's do what's best for us. And for me, Atkins is the best because it makes keto a little bit safer, and I'll tell you why in just a minute. So another reason is that people think it's not safe is because you're limiting a food group and they're like, oh no, we need a balanced diet in order to survive, right? But guess what, guys? There are no essential carbohydrates. So the body actually has to have fats to run always. Even when you're doing a carbohydrate diet, very low fat diet, you have to have a certain amount of fats in order to function. Okay? There are essential proteins. We cannot run our bodies without proteins. We can't rebuild tissue. We can't build new tissue. We can't sustain our processes, our body's processes, without a proteins. Okay? So the body needs proteins and fats in order to survive. But guess what? It has a wonderful mechanism that makes it so if we don't have access to carbohydrates, we don't actually need them. There are no essential carbohydrates. So if you really want to get into the nitty-gritty, you can get into the science. And you know what? If you're not a reader, you can find all of Dr. Finney's latest information and his best scientific stuff on his website, which is virtahealth.com, virtahealth.com. And I think I have that linked in my about section. If not, I will make sure it's in there. But he has a blog with very easy to understand blog posts. Okay, some of them are not easy to understand. Admittedly, he's a little sciencey. So if you're afraid of the sciencey stuff, it's kind of hard to read some of his stuff, even his articles that are written by other people, his staff. But Dr. Finney's entire purpose in life is to cure type 2 diabetes. So that is why he started the study of low carbohydrate living. It's why he does what he does, and he's very, very good at it. And he's, in my opinion, he is the best scientist on the planet about keto right now. And he's also probably the one who's been in ketosis the longest. And so for me, that is huge. The fact that he actually eats ketogenically still after all of these years. I think he's like 40 years in or something crazy. I don't know. He's 20 years study, but I think he's a lot longer than that actually in dietary ketosis. I could be wrong about that. I don't know. I can't remember. I've watched so many videos and I get lost about how things are, but I do know he knows his stuff. So if you really want the nitty-gritty science on keto and whether or not it's safe and how to do it properly, that is where I get all of my information from. Dr. Finney. I also love Dr. Westman though, and I do love his very simple, and Amy Berger's also simple approach to keto and making it easier and more accessible to people. That's what I'm trying to do, right? That's literally why I started this channel, because I wanted to take all that sciencey stuff and like boil it down to the basics and say, okay, this is how you do it. If you don't want to deal with understanding why it works, this is how to do it. And that's what I started this channel for. And it's literally the point is to help people to lose weight. I have no other reason to be doing this. And keto is not the only way to lose weight. I've talked about that a million times. It's caloric restriction that you need to lose weight. And keto is an easy way to get it because it helps to curb the appetite. And we all know it's the appetite that drives us to overeat, right? I mean, like, we're hungry. We're freaking hungry. At least I was nursing all those babies all those years, right? So another really fun thing that Dr. Finney has an article about on his blog is fiber. It's not 100% tried and true tested yet. They haven't done enough perfect scientific studies, but it has been hypothesized that we don't even actually need fiber in our diets when we're in ketosis, because fiber actually, the way it works is it gets in the gut and it ferments. And what the gases or whatever that it gives off is very similar to the state of ketosis. So Dr. Finney is actually working on that right now, trying to figure out if we actually need to eat any fiber at all in order to be healthy. I know that when I'm on a very strict keto cut, so that means my caloric restriction is really low. And I mean, really high. How do you look at that? My calories are low. Let's put it that way. I don't use the restroom very often. That's actually normal. It's because you're really using up everything that you're eating. You're not eating a lot of waste and you're not eating a lot of fiber. So as long as things are moving through comfortably when they move through, you don't need to worry about how often. I noticed that when I add bars and things back in and I'm adding those fibers back in, I'll use the restroom more often. That doesn't mean that I'm more healthy. It just means that I have more fiber and things are moving through. But the point is that Dr. Finney hypothesizes that we don't even really need fiber in our diets. So if all that's true, why are people so afraid of it, right? Okay, well, there are some studies that lead us to be concerned, especially when eating in a caloric deficit. So this is where me and the rest of the keto community or whatever science, I don't know, get a little bit at odds. The people that are purporting, is that a word? Talking about super high fat and very low protein, it concerns me. And this is the reason why. Because in a ketotic state, your body does have a tendency to use its own self more, which is great because it uses its own self to grab your fat and freaking put it into ketones and use it up, right? That's the goal. Well, what happens when you get to the point where I'm at and you don't have as much fat? And even maybe before that, like apparently in a ketotic state, you are more likely to lose lean mass. It's just a fact. And that is the reason why I've always been a high protein, kind of anabolic keto. I wish they'd come up with a better name. I think anabolic keto was a good name, don't you? I mean, like, for getting more anabolic foods, high protein foods in your diet versus just the fats, in order to prevent that from happening. Now, I know a lot of people say that that's not possible, that in a ketotic state, you're not going to burn lean mass. I'm not going to argue because I'm not a scientist. I don't really know the answers. I've watched a lot of people on YouTube. I know that BioLane talks a lot about why ketosis can be a little bit dangerous to your lean mass, and it makes it difficult to build your muscles when you're in ketosis. Now, we know there's Keto Savage and there's lots of guys out there doing it. Obviously, Goody Beats, there's people doing it. Obviously, you can do it, right? You're capable. So it's obviously not the end of the planet Earth. But if you're going to have a caloric deficit in ketosis, it is wise to keep your proteins high if it doesn't affect your blood sugar, if you're not on it for a medical reason. So even including diabetes is a medical reason. But I will say this, Dr. Finney has his clients on a reasonable protein level, even with type 2 diabetes. So, I mean, I'm not a doctor, not a scientist. I'm just a mom. So I don't know a lot of that, why that is a thing. But I do know that it is safer when you are in a diet, to make sure your body has plenty of protein dietarily, so it doesn't need to use so much of your body. It will use some no matter what diet you do. You will lose some no matter what you're doing. It's just part of the process. It's okay. That's why you can't stay in a cut forever. It is not wise to always be dieting. If you don't have a cut phase and then a bulk phase, or a diet phase and a diet break phase, your body doesn't really have chance to rebuild. It's still just always trying to play catch up. And so you have to be really careful when you're doing caloric restriction. Don't do it too long. You don't need to do it as extreme as I did it. I wanted it to be fast, so I did it pretty extreme. It's not necessary to do it that extreme. But that is one of the concerns with keto, is that you lose more lean mass. So keep that in mind if you're going into this for weight loss. At first, if you are obese, dude, do it. You will not have as much lean mass loss, and you will have plenty of body fat that your body can use, and you'll have a better go of it. But as you get closer to your goal, you may not have as an easier time, and you need to pay more attention to your protein and making sure that you're getting it in. And that's why I have such a high protein. I've even raised it since I started the reverse diet. I've raised my protein level even higher than I had it when I was losing weight. So remember that when you consume dietary fat, it has a lot of calories. So you don't get as much food when you're eating fats as you do when you're eating protein. There's that as well. So if you want to stay full, if you have a problem with overeating or even binge eating, you don't want your body to feel restricted to the point where it causes you to binge. I was able to really be satisfied on 1,300 calories when I'm doing a cut, because most of my food is coming from a protein source. So you kind of got to keep that in mind as you go along. Now, when it comes to long-term strategies, is keto safe to do forever? Yes. And I think a lot of people think that I don't think that, maybe because I've decided that this time I'm going to try getting out of ketosis and seeing what happens. There are multiple reasons I chose to re-add carbohydrates, reintroduce carbohydrates back into my diet, and none of them are because keto is dangerous. Keto is not dangerous to do long-term, as long as you're always managing your electrolytes and getting the proper supplementation. And I know I didn't really go into that proper supplementation, and that's because I have a kabillion videos on electrolytes. And if you guys have been here, you've heard my electrolytes soapbox. Suffice it to say, you need 5,000 milligrams of sodium is your number one important one. And people don't talk about that enough. But if you want more information on that, just go into my Keto for Beginners playlist, and I have a whole video on electrolytes right in there that will help you out. But if you're managing electrolytes always while you're on keto, always, not just during the first week when you have keto flu. There's no getting through keto flu. You can get keto flu any single time your electrolytes dump. And mine dump all the time. That's part of the reason I added carbs back in, is because I was really having a hard time managing that. Felt like I was eating too much electrolytes, and it wasn't giving me what I needed, and I wasn't able to keep it steady. As long as you're keeping it steady, it should be fine. And if you don't mind the up and down, then it should be fine too. It was really driving me crazy. It was just stressing me out. So that's part of the reason I added carbs back in. Not adding a ton of carbs. I'm still very low carb, and I still have to supplement my sodium. Even at, I think I'm about like 90 to 120 total net total carbs, not total net. Oh my gosh, that's not even a thing. Hello. Total carbs. I still need sodium. I'm still not able to go without it. I've tried. I just still get sick. So obviously I'm still low carb enough that my body is not, or eating in anti-inflammatory enough that my body is not retaining that much water. And so I am not able to just go off of the sodium altogether, which I would really like to do that. But apparently that's not in the cards for me unless I'm willing to go really high on my carbs. And I'm not really, because there's only so much a person can eat in a day. I don't know. Carbs are just kind of, I don't know. They're not that awesome. They're just literally another food. And I don't even feel like I have so much more energy or anything. It's just easier to get my food in without my fats triggering me to binge. And that was the thing that I had a trouble with it. So in order to do this long term, you do have to be able to eat a copious amount of fat. So if that is not your thing, it's great for weight loss to not have to eat copious amounts of fat. I know a lot of people come on and they're like, oh, keto, I can't stand it. I don't eat all the butter and pour things in my coffee and the heavy cream and all that. You don't have to do that. If you need to lose weight, you have weight on your body to burn, you do not need to eat dietary fat while you're in ketosis. You can just stop, you can lower it down, your dietary fat, and then just burn your body fat. But when you're almost out of body fat, it's kind of a problem. You have, especially if you want to stop losing weight, your calorie level has to be maintenance level. That's like 1,800 to 2,200 calories for most people. And there's only so much protein a person can stand to eat. I have a hard time getting in 170 grams. It's a lot. And I still can't, if I don't add the carbs in, have a hard time, getting that right without binging. I don't know why it is. The fats just taste too good. And that's the honest truth. The fats tasted too good, and I couldn't control my intake of them. At least last year. Maybe this year would have been different because mentally I'm a little bit more healthy. And that's possible that I could have done it with fats and not added the carbs back in. But I just find I feel a little bit more in control when I'm having more things I can move around to get my calories right. Obviously, it's easy to get high calories with fats, and that was part of the problem, is that the fats just don't have the food bulk, and then my calories would get way too high and I would gain a lot of weight. Last year, trying to do maintenance with keto, I gained 20 pounds in 9 months, and that's not a horrible amount. It's a realistic amount for a diet break, but not a 9-month diet break, maybe more of like a 2-year diet break, right? I would like to curb that down. I would like my gain during the diet break phase to be less than 10 pounds so that when I go and do a cut again, I can get a little further ahead. Because I'm not done totally, obviously, you guys saw from my loose skin video if you've watched it, I definitely still have some body fat that I could drop if I would like to. I'm not needing to. So yeah. The long-term strategies for keto is figuring out what to eat, how to eat it, and to keep those fats high enough that your calories are high enough that you stop losing weight. A lot of people have a hard time doing that, especially after they get used to eating very little food. It's hard for them to all of a sudden just dump butter in their coffee and all this stuff, to try and get the fats up. So that's why I think, I don't know, I think that's probably why people do a lot of high fat at the beginning. Maybe it's to get people used to that idea, but like when I did it really, really low fat. And so when I got to the end, right, when I wanted to stop for a minute, adding all those fats back in was too complicated for me personally, and that's the reason why I didn't do it. But that doesn't mean that it's not possible long term. Dr. Finney's been doing it forever, So obviously it's totally safe as long as you manage your electrolytes. Make sure you're getting enough protein for your body to rebuild itself and take care of itself. And you're not losing lean mass being in a ketotic state. And eating enough fats to stop losing weight. That's basically the long and short of it. So that's all I have for you guys for this subject. So I am just going to go back up to the top of the comments and see who's here. Sorry, I got to move this thing out of the way. I didn't mean to touch you. Whoa. And I will talk for probably, I'm trying really hard not to go over an hour this time. So if you guys have burning questions, I will answer as many of them as I can. I hate not making it to the bottom of the chat and missing people. Just a reminder, you can always donate to the channel via the super chat, and if you do that, I will be sure to see your question. I think there's few enough of us this time that won't be an issue though, so I think it's not necessary unless you really want to do it. And I'm okay, so you don't need to feel like pressured. Oh, and just so you know, since we're 30 minutes in, I don't know if you noticed, but they came out with candy cane Built Bars today. The ones they said they weren't going to sell, that I bought a whole crap ton of white chocolate bars in order to earn 2 free bars per box. Yeah, today they came out with them to buy. A little irritating, just a little. But whatever, I still bought 2 boxes, and you guys can still buy some boxes too. And if you haven't, if you don't want to try them, don't try them. But if you are interested in trying those freaking Christmas in a bar bars, oh my gosh, they're so freaking good. You probably have, if you have issues with overeating, you might not want to get them because they taste that good. But I am doing a contest. Anybody who orders with my code ketochaos from builtbar.com in December, well, before December 21st, I think that's the last day I'm going to do, because that's this coming Tuesday. And so far, I think we have 20 people in the running only. So you might win. I'm going to be doing a giveaway next week, hopefully. I don't know. It may extend out because I might not get it done in time. So order some Built Bars, any size. I will add you to the contest, whether you've ordered before or not. You will be entered automatically into the contest. It tells me everybody that orders. So thank you, all of you who have ordered and made our Christmas a little bit brighter. I will say that my kids are going to be a lot happier on Christmas morning this year because of Built Bar and you guys. So I appreciate that. All right, here we go. Back up to the top so that I can say hi to everybody else who came in, because we have a lot more people here now. Oh, and thank you. Janice said, "End Your Carb Confusion" is the name of Dr. Westman and Amy Berger's book. I know I'm not the only one talking about it. I don't know how Keto Connect got a copy of it before I did. I bought me that copy, so that's kind of whatever. It was supposed to be here so I could talk about it today, but it's not here, so we'll talk about it next week because I need time to read it anyway. But yeah, End Your Carb Confusion. And I know he talks about people like me who eat more carbs. Yay! That's what I'm excited about. That whole thing. I'm excited about that. So yeah, you guys go buy it if you can. Oh, I see somebody gave me a super chat, so I am going to be true to my word and find it. Wow, there's a lot of comments. Hold on. It's from Melanie, Princess Ninja and Keto. Guys, go subscribe. So if you do want to know about the End Your Carb Confusion stuff, you can go watch Princess Ninja and Keto. Legit do it right now because she's on page 4 right now, and that's what she's doing. So guys, go subscribe to Melanie. She's freaking awesome. Plus, she sings really, really well. And she breaks into song in random moments, which is my favorite thing. I love it so much. I wish I could do that because, like, I used to sing back in the day, but she knows way more songs than I do. I can't, my brain doesn't remember songs anymore. And so I don't like be cool and like sing in my videos. I should, but I don't. Okay, let's see. Here we go. We are going up to the top and we're back. Okay. Tammy Posey Level is here. Welcome. Yeah, Viva J says Westman and Berger were on Keto Connect's channel yesterday. I know. They don't love me as much as they love them. It's okay. I will still talk about his book even though he doesn't even know I'm talking about it. Because I care about you guys and you losing weight and it will help you. So that's why I'm talking about it. And I bought it with my own cashola. All right. Tuan Tran, fitness coach, is here. He's just started his channel. So if you guys want to check him out, it's spelled TUAN, TRAN, fitness coach. And he says, "Thanks for sharing your views on keto and how to use it for weight loss. I'm all in on intermittent fasting and used it to lose 60 pounds and also have seen it on his clients." Way to go. That is awesome. Like I said, there is no one way to lose weight. Whatever way helps you, whatever way helps you get a calorie deficit and helps the weight come off and that you can do for long enough to actually lose weight is the way you should do it. Because there's no right or wrong. When it comes to weight loss, it's important to just get it done. And then find a way to maintain your weight. And that's the hard part. You think losing weight is hard. Nope. That's the hard part. All right. Joetta Phipps is here. Welcome. Jen Does Keto is here. Welcome. I'm not sure if she has a channel, but if she does, you guys should check her out. Jen, Jenn, Does Keto. And Jelly, Fat2 Keto is here. FAT number 2 Keto. And she is awesome. She has also lost, I think, 207. I don't know. I haven't seen you post a video in a couple of days, Jelly. Did I just miss them? So I'm not sure where she's at weight-wise. And and she's not weighing in December. That's right. That's why I don't know. She's not weighing in December. She's taking a break, a much-needed break. I understand, girl. I totally forgot to weigh in this morning, and so then I drank stuff, and then I went somewhere, and then I came back and had to weigh, so my weight was up today. That's annoying. But whatever. It is. Sparkly Susan says the human body is an amazing machine that works well if you treat it correctly. That is true. Yes. And we just have to be gentle with ourselves. We can't do everything right. We can't eat everything perfect all the time. We just have to be doing the best we can and try and do better tomorrow than we did today, right? Carnivore Yogi is here. Sarah. She is awesome too. You guys should check her out. Carnivore Yogi. Jennifer Angus is here. Welcome. Love you, girl. Okay, so that's a good question. Sparkly Susan says, is Atkins the one done in several phases? Yes and no. So the old Atkins, yes, and the new Atkins, not necessarily. So with the old Atkins, you did go back and add carbs back in. And originally I said I was never ever going to do that. And look at me actually doing it. So maybe Dr. Atkins kind of knew what he was doing with that as well. But yes, the way I lost weight and the way I teach how to do it is basically Atkins induction phase. So yes, you are correct. Luz Diaz is here. Welcome. Hello. Christina Salmon says, diabetes is the devil and can be cured. Yes, if you have type 2 diabetes, this is the thing to do, girlies and guys. It is the thing to do. Type 1 obviously cannot be cured, though. All right. Oh, and she did clarify that. She says type 2, not 1. I love you, Christina. We're so good. We're so in sync, me and Christina. I'm just trying to absorb her exercise mindset. Because people are like making comments like, most people aren't fitness gurus and everything. And I'm like, well, actually, probably every single person I know that's lost like 100 pounds and that I personally know like is actually exercise person. So it's hard for me because I'm like not still there mentally. I don't know if I'll ever be there. I'm more active than I was when I weighed almost 400 pounds. So there's that, right? Okay. Let's see. Matthew Faribault, I'm not sure. It says, there's so much research on fiber and its health benefits. Seems incautious to follow this guy's advice when you admit there's no research to back it up. This guy. Oh, you're cute, Matthew. He called him this guy. Yeah. No. Dr. Finney is literally the leading scientist on a ketogenic lifestyle. He's been living it for years. He kind of knows his stuff and he has done research on it. He just doesn't have double-blind studies yet proving that he's right, but I think he's a little bit smart, so I'm going to go with he's probably right. Sorry, Matthew, but this guy, oh my gosh, I'm going to cry so hard. I will cry laughing. Oh, okay. But he does have an actual legit question next. Okay, Matthew. Doesn't more protein push you out of ketosis? No. Okay, so here's the answer to that question. I'm not the scientist to answer the question, but I will tell you why that's not true. Will it make your ketone levels when testing lower? Yes. Does that mean you are not in ketosis? No. No, it doesn't. And that's the thing that makes it more complicated because people are all about being in the right level of ketosis. It is not important to be in the right level of ketosis. Here's the if, you are doing this for weight loss purposes. It does not matter what it says on the pee stick or the blood stick. It just matters whether or not you can eat less. Because ketosis is a tool to help you eat less. It isn't the magic cure for getting fat. Because I'm proof of that. I gained 20 pounds in 9 months eating keto foods, right? So yeah, no, it doesn't mean that. Basically what it means is when you're consuming less dietary fat, your body doesn't have to make that fat into ketones. And then it goes, when it burns the ketones that it did create out of the dietary fat you consumed, it goes into your body fat and makes what it needs. So you don't have a plethora of extra ketones floating around in your body for it to come up on a test. So it doesn't kick you out of ketosis. It just means that your ketones are lower. That's all. And I've always said, don't bother testing. It's not important. If you're eating less than 20 net carbs per day, you're in ketosis. Just trust the process. Lose weight. Be happy. Don't chase ketones. Also, please don't drink exogenous ketones because when you drink them, your body will burn those first before it bothers to burn any body fat to create more. So you're basically shooting yourself in the foot. Yeah, don't do that unless you like have something you need extra energy for, like if you're gonna run a marathon or something. Freaking drink all the ketones you want if you need extra energy. Go for it. And the same goes for like drinking MCT oil and things like that. People drink those oils, MCT in particular, because it's quickly metabolized into ketones. That's another shooting yourself in the foot if you're trying to lose weight. If you need energy to go work out, fine. But if you're just like me and you're trying to lose body fat, drinking any kind of fats, even the good kinds, especially the good kinds, is going to shoot you in the foot. Yeah, so there's your answer. No, it doesn't. And yes, your ketones will go lower. All right. I know. Fat to Keto says, I've always done the high protein keto. Yep, me too. And that's why we look banging awesome, girl. Me and you, we look freaking good. Yeah. She looks better than me. It's admitted. I admit it. All right. All right. Okay. We're just skipping Matthew's questions now because he's just a troll. Okay. Let's see. Jelly says she actually had type 2 diabetes and PCOS, and the high protein never raised her sugar levels. It does on some people and it doesn't on other people. I don't know if it did on me because I had never had type 2 and I never really tested my sugar levels. So I don't know. I've had my A1C checked just for fun and it was great, but I never had type 2 diabetes. Thank goodness. I literally have only done this for weight loss. So it's good to hear from someone who actually succeeded using the high protein and having it. So that's great. Dolly D says, hello from France. Welcome. Tara Allen, who is one of my awesome clients, she says, I'm doing higher protein now because I realize the important protein is, but my blood sugar is fine, but my ketones are lower. Yep, I addressed that. That's why your ketones are lower. Matthew Faribaugh says, eating lots of fiber makes you feel full with 0 calories from the fiber. True, but protein will build your muscle and make you feel full too because it's anabolic and it has a higher thermic effect of food and you burn more calories while eating it. Just saying. If you want more information on actual protein stuff, go watch BioLane. BioLayne. He is an actual protein scientist. So, like, you should go watch him because he's awesome. All right. You guys are arguing with him. I love you so much. You're so cute. Thanks, guys. We need my choppers to just kick him out because he's annoying. No, you know what? It's okay. It's okay. The fact that Matthew is here, number one, is a good thing for me because it means people are seeing my channel that aren't already my besties. And it's okay to talk about this stuff because it's true. Like a lot of people have misconceptions about this higher protein keto, and that is part of the reason I still talk about it. You know, Keto Christina is moving towards a mindset approach and she's changing her whole branding and everything. And while I'd really like to do that since I'm not personally in ketosis anymore, I really think that I don't want to do that because I feel like there needs to be more vocal people that are out there talking about how keto can help benefit weight loss, but how to do it also with the higher protein so that you lose less lean mass. So, you know, you don't want to risk that. It's just, I don't know. It's okay if it's the right thing for you to do. Carnivore Yogi says electrolyte imbalance can also wear and tear on your thyroid, and no one talks about that either. Yes, and I was also very, very cold, and I think that was partly because of ketosis. Maybe it was because my thyroid was having issues. I did have it tested, but, you know, you just never know. The electrolytes was really hard for me, and that's the main reason I decided to try not doing it. Though, admittedly, I'm still having trouble with it. So I don't know what I need to do to work, but I'm not going to go start eating donuts and chocolate because, you know. Okay, so that's the reason why it's easy to add carbs back in without overeating, because carbs by themselves taste like crap. They have no flavor. You have to add the fats to make them yum. And see, and that's the key. So like you can't do both. I'm trying to keep them kind of balanced, but not high. So I'm trying to keep my proteins highest. And so that keeps my other ones in check and keeps my stomach full. I don't really love veggies, so I can't really like do a whole big A salad like some people do in order to fill up and not overeat. So I do it other ways, but yeah, anyway. Let's see. Tara Allen says, workout buddies. Also just got my and your carb confusion yesterday. Why didn't I get my booking time for this chat? I'll be so annoyed if I like go out to the mailbox and it was like totally in my mailbox and nobody got the mail. That is possible. We get so many packages. I have like a stack right over here of like packages. I have so many packages. You can imagine. I have 9 kids, so freaking tons of packages. Hey, good morning, Jasper. Speaking of which, don't come over here unless you get dressed, okay? Oh my gosh. Okay. Matthew, you're literally killing me right now. Okay. Let's go. Let's get into this one too. We might as well. I don't get it, he says. Doesn't gluconeogenesis from too much protein kick you out of ketosis? I've heard that from many people. No, it doesn't. There's a great article on it on ketogains.com. Ketogains is literally a muscle building bodybuilders website for people who are in ketosis. The short answer is, while in ketosis, you're always having gluconeogenesis. You cannot stop it from happening. Eating too much protein does not make you have gluconeogenesis. You're always having it because your body does need a certain amount of sugar to run. It has to get it from somewhere. It gets it from protein. It's always happening. That's why there are no essential carbs. It's why we can eat only fats and live, because we can get them from protein. And we will, because the brain needs carbs to run. And the brain is very smart, and it's always using gluconeogenesis in order to do that. Why your blood sugar rises, to me, is a mystery. I haven't found any answer to why the blood sugar rises. But frankly, unless you're type 2 diabetic and it's rising dramatically, who cares? Is it stable? Is it spiking and dropping? No. So there's no reason to worry about it. That's the short answer. It's not a thing. Not a thing. There are many, many, many articles on the subject. I'm sure you can find one on vertahealth.com. Ketogains has a really good one. Go check them out. But yeah, that's the long and short of it. Gluconeogenesis is normal, and it happens no matter what you do. So anyway, there you go. Okay. I see you guys already answered him. I appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. You guys are proof that you're listening and learning and being awesome and helping me. And like, I just love you all. Thank you. Thank you for being here and being awesome. I love you so much. I was so close to not doing the chat today. I just felt like I needed to do it anyway, even though I didn't get the book. And I'm kind of glad, because it gives me a week if I get my book today. It gives me a week to read the book and decide what I want to talk about, and gives us a chance to talk about something else. Keto Cricket is here, my fellow Tammy, who gives me all the best advice and is the one who got me on the reverse diet plan. Thank you, Tammy. You're awesome. All us Tammys got to stick together because we're all awesome. I didn't see Tammy McDonald here, my other twin, so she's probably just missing it today. Oh, Loving It on Keto is here. Welcome. They have an interesting channel. I don't always agree with everything they say, but I'm glad you guys are here, and I'm always willing to tell everybody about everybody's channels because I feel like we all have a voice in this space. So go check out Loving It on Keto since they are here today. Welcome. Okay. Oh my gosh. You guys already answered him, all these things I said. I love you. I love you guys. Thank you. Okay, Mommy All Day, welcome from Atlanta, Georgia. I've been there. There's very few places in this country that I have been, but Atlanta, Georgia is one of them. I had taken a muscle relaxer that day, and I walked around like a freaking zombie and fell asleep every time I sat down. But I was there, sort of. Went to the aquarium and just walked through like, hi, fishies, and sat down, and it was great. It was fun times. All right. Okay. Matthew, too bad there's not more scientific research on this stuff. There is. Oh my gosh, hun. vertahealth.com, ketogains.com, watch BioLane. Just do all those things that I keep saying over and over. I'm not pulling this stuff out of my... Hey, Tanya, Carly's mama is here from Nevada. She lives in Sparks. Isn't that cool that she lives in Sparks? That's awesome. Are you a vampire? You know, it was a Utah Mormon who wrote that book. Actually, I don't know if she's Utah. I don't know. Anyway. ADH Snuggle says, what do you think about taking an electrolyte pill? I have mixed opinions on electrolyte pills. Number one reason I don't recommend them is because they usually have potassium instead of sodium. I do supplement my potassium now, but at the beginning I didn't. Potassium supplementation is a dangerous thing to talk about just because you really can actually overdo it on potassium. Whereas sodium, you can go really, really high and not really overdo it. It just doesn't have the right ratio, in my opinion, for proper electrolyte supplementation. But if it's the only way you can do it, it's the only way you can stomach it, it's better than doing nothing. It's much better than doing nothing. So like Ultima or whatever it's called, it's got way too much potassium, not enough sodium. The only ones out there that have enough sodium are like the ones that are true sodium supplementations like LMNT, but they're so expensive. It's just easier to put a shot of Solé water and squirt some Mio in it, and it's a lot cheaper, and just guzzle it and drink some water and do it that way. Mama? Yes, dear. Yeah, go ahead. He's like taking advantage of me talking. He's like, can I get on my tablet? Because I do have a tablet. I know, you have a tablet because you turned 5 and you had a birthday and you're a big boy now. I love you. Okay, yeah, bye. But... Bye. They can't hear you. Go play it. Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay. No. Oh yeah, Diet Doctor also does have a lot of stuff there too. That's where Dr. Westman leads people to a lot too. Okay. Okay. Natasha Nizam says, I went from 190 to 212 pounds in 6 weeks. I'm trying to lose 60 pounds for my health. I had Quest bars yesterday and kicked me out of ketosis. Any tips for a sweet treat? Again, let me just remind you that ketosis is just a tool for appetite suppressant. You need to focus on hitting your protein and getting your calories low. If you want to lose weight, you have to have a caloric deficit. You have to be eating less than what you burn. That's the only thing that actually works. But ketosis is an awesome tool. Doesn't mean that your weight loss is gonna die and stall because you're kicked out of ketosis. And did a Quest bar kick you? I mean, not super likely. So I would say just keep going, watch those calories, and have patience. That's the honest truth. You know, people have told me to stop eating bars so many more times than I can count. I still eat them, still lost weight. So it's not the bars that's the problem, it's the calories. Unless it's water weight, and if so, you just gotta have patience. And if it's giving you water weight gain, then don't eat it if it bothers you. So, yeah. Okay, let's see. Okay, so I'm skipping all of this because you guys were just answering. Tanya says, I'm bummed trying to order more white chocolate bars and the website isn't allowing me to. They might be sold out. I'm surprised if they even have any. But if you want to just order the candy cane brownie because they taste way better than the white chocolate ones, they are coming out. I just will tell you this. I think next week they are coming out with white chocolate bites. So I don't know if there's a reason that it's not letting you. It might just be because there's a lot of people on the site. I don't think that these guys were prepared for the amount of bars they were going to sell. Getting us to sell them for them was genius. The way they set it up was freaking genius. I'm not even kidding. And they're having a very difficult time keeping up with demand. So could be they just haven't updated that they're sold out. I don't know. Loving Out on Keto says, I ordered through your code on Black Friday. Still waiting for the white chocolate ones to arrive. The mini peanut butter ones arrived, but still waiting for the white chocolate ones. Yep. They're coming from different facilities. That's one thing I figured out is that the white chocolate bars are made somewhere else. So they're coming from a different packager, I think. I'm not 100% sure on that. I don't know all the nitty gritty details. I do know that I was one of the very not nice people that complained to them. And then they had to send out a message that said, hey, ambassadors, could you be nice to us, please? Yeah, I was one of those. I can be sassy when I'm worried about stuff. Oh, I love it. Okay. Carnivore Yogi says, I personally have had ill effects from gluconeogenesis, and I've talked to many other people with the same experience, but it doesn't happen to lots of people. She has a lot different experience than me, but I respect Sarah and everything she says. So, we have different opinions on things, but we still love each other, and I love that. I think that it's great because you know what I mean? Like, when you learn new things or when things happen to you, you change your opinion, and that's okay. I've changed my opinion on carbs. Oh my gosh. I never thought I would say that, but whatever. Like, it doesn't, that doesn't mean that what I said before doesn't have any bearing. It just means we have or learned new things, right? All right. Okay, we have 5 more minutes. I'm seeing if I can get a couple more questions in here. Mary T says, I'm so excited to find a place to discuss maintenance. Lots of info for beginners, but not long-term. Yep. And that is why I'm talking about every single thing I try, every single thing I learn, and trying to be as careful with the data as possible. I've even had people say, like, are you OCD? Are you too OCD with the tracking and the data? Like, is that your new, like, problem? And I'm like, no, I'm just trying to mark what worked so that we can be redone for other people, reproduced based on my experience. That's all. Like, do you think I love tracking like a crazy person? Do you think I love that? No. Yesterday, I just wanted to say screw it because everything went wrong and I was crying because I didn't have time to make the food that I wanted to eat, and I was stuck drinking a stupid protein shake, and I hate doing that because it doesn't fill me up. And I was a freaking mess, and I had to redo my dinner 3 times, and it was 10 o'clock when I ate dinner finally because we didn't have the supplies on hand for any of the things that would fit in my macros, and I had to keep redoing them over and over. At that time, do you think that I wanted to just say screw it and eat whatever? But did I? No, because I want to make sure that you guys have the most accurate information that I can give you. And the only way I can make that accurate is by following what I said I was going to do. You guys are definite motivators for accountability. So thank you for that. Thank you for that. All right. Natasha says, I tried sugar-free Jell-O and whipped cream. It kicks you out of ketosis. Why are you saying it kicks you out of ketosis? Why are you even testing? Don't do it. Just stop. It doesn't matter if you get kicked out of ketosis. Ketosis doesn't matter. For weight loss. For medical things, sure. If you're doing it for medical reasons, freaking stress about ketosis. But if you're just doing it to lose weight, just eat less calories. It doesn't matter. And I just don't know how it could kick you out. It's freaking sucralose. Like, it has no effect on blood sugar. And even aspartame ones. There's aspartame ones and there's sucralose ones. It shouldn't bother you. The only thing I worry about when it comes to stuff like that is, does it trigger you to binge? Does it trigger you to crave? Then don't do it. If it doesn't trigger you and it helps you stay under calorie deficit, freaking eat it. Don't worry about ketosis. It's not important. I know. Yes, Fat Taquito Jelly did page 4 too. Yes, she did. Okay. So yeah, Jelly's still at 206. And that's good. Like, technically I'm at 205. Well, as of today, I'm at like 197 because, the scale. Well, it does its thing. It does its thing. Tara Allen says that is what Dr. Westman talks about in his new book. Once you're closer to healthy weight goals, you may need to add carbs depending on how you feel. Yay! Oh, there. I knew he was going to talk about that. I just had a feeling. Hey, Wendy Barron, Mama Does Keto was here. Good to see you, girly. I was about to say from Colorado, and then I'm like, oh, she moved to Missouri. I love it. Yes. Okay. Christina Salmon says, I didn't exercise till I lost 80 pounds. Well, I didn't start dancing until I lost 100 pounds, but I don't really call it exercise because it's only 1 day a week, and I do it just for funsies. I've lost so much and I still don't do exercise every single day. Like, it's okay. Joetta Phillips says, I miss the stuff on fiber. Do we need it? The short answer is no. So don't stress about it. If you want veggies in your diet, by all means, eat it. If you want the bars, by all means, eat them. If it keeps you in a caloric deficit and helps you to not overeat, by all means, add fiber. But it does not appear it's necessary in order to have good gut health. I mean, the whole time I was losing weight, I was eating maybe a cup of veggies a day and never has issues with my gut health. So There you go. Does Dr. Westman have a macro calculator? No, because Dr. Westman's all about not tracking. He is all about eating just the things that are on his page for list in the amounts that he listed them. So you're allowed to have a certain amount of cheese per day. You're allowed to have a certain amount of added fats per day. You're allowed to have as many lean meats as you would like, things like that. So you might want to get his book if you want a little bit more nitty gritty. New Atkins for New You has some information, but no. And the macros that I give out are based on the average human, and they're based for extreme weight loss. They are very low bargain basement calories. So if you want to get them from me, I do have a macro like chart in my Facebook group, and you can also email me for it. Okay. They already answered you, so I don't even know. All right, Matthew, moving on from you, because what abs? Can someone troll that guy out of here? Where's all my moderators today? Okay. Tara Allen says, yes, I started watching Bio Lane, and that's another rabbit hole I went down, right? He is so smart, but he says the F word a lot, so I don't really love that, but because I can't listen to it with the kids around, because they're all like, what are you watching, Mom? All right, let's see. Oh my gosh, Mary, you're awesome. Thank you for yelling at him for me. Fat Chiquito says, the lower I am with carbs, the colder I get. That's interesting. That is interesting. I have not been cold this winter. Guys, I'm like going outside in just a shirt in 25-degree weather. I did my whole exercise workout in 30-something degrees this week. Like, it's not killing me. I don't know if it's to do with the carbs or if it's just my body's used to it more, but whatever. I'm like, yeah. Should we do a book discussion? We could. Sure. We can work out a book discussion. Anybody who wants to, if you're on my Facebook group, we could like start something in there. Like that's what we used to do, is like a chat type, like where we type in our discussion. We actually did a book discussion on this one, and we only made it through the first, like, it's too sciencey for most people, can't handle it, and it's hard to read. So we didn't get very far into it with our book club, but we had a book club on this one back in the first early days of ketochaos. So I don't see why we couldn't talk about his new book. So yeah, let's look into that, doing that. Tara, remind me if you're still here, remind me. Yes, and that is a good point. Mary T says gluconeogenesis happens from fat too. Yes. So even if you're only eating fat, you're still having gluconeogenesis if you're in ketosis. That is literally true. Okay. Yep. Keto Cricket says, according to my anatomy and physiology class, gluconeogenesis is defined as using either fat or protein instead of carbohydrates. Yeah. All people do. Yes. All ketosis is gluconeogenesis. Yes. If you're in it, you're doing it. Yep. Has to, because your brain needs it. Okay. We already talked about that. So Right. Okay. So I'm moving that. Oh, I'm sorry, Sarah. I didn't see your super chat. Thank you so much. She's the best, you guys. Please, everyone go subscribe to Carnivore Yogi just because she's awesome. And because we have different perspectives, and it's good to hear from different people on different perspectives, because you don't know what's going to work for you. You know, this may work for me, but it doesn't work for Sarah. And she does a totally different approach and is very, very healthy as well. So please go watch her. Okay. Christina says, OMG, I've never seen a troll here. Hey, but guess what, Christina? We have had some very bad trolls. We have had some like pictures shared in profiles that were obviously photoshopped. We've had some interesting trolls in here before, so I'll take the real keto trolls over the creepy sex trolls any day, right? Hey, Sabrina's here. Flowers for Wonder Girl. All right. Okay, we made it to the bottom. I got to be done. I have so much to get done today. I wasn't even going to do a chat because it is like crunch time for dance. Like, we are having performances every single day because we have to do hair and makeup every day because we have to do them recorded in class. And I, of course, have to do my second one today. I totally screwed up lyrical yesterday. It was a total bummer because it's the easiest dance forever, but whatever. It doesn't matter. But I got clogging to prepare for today, so I got to go practice because I know I don't know that one good enough. I'm going to totally screw it up, but that's okay. And anyway, thank you guys for being here. I hope I didn't make anybody too mad. I don't like making people mad, but I do like saying, go read from science people and learn stuff. Love you guys. We'll talk to you all again soon. Bye.